right, you know 'em, you love 'em. The United Steelworkers of America have returned to defend Paradise Rainbow Island that they took with with such a high cost in lives. All right, the hot stuff is indeed coming through again as I am rocking Norsca in a competitive match against the Vampire Coast being played by a player called Ruslan. So we got my Norscan army parked up on the hill. Let's start by taking a look at what I'm bringing. I've got, of course, wolves, lots of wolves, lots of wolves. Let's turn that on. So I got my Norscan ice wolves just running around the flanks, getting around those guns because those guns can only point in one direction. So getting on top of any zombie units with guns, these guys are going to do great. So I'm going to use them to try and get into any little gaps I can make in his formations, along with these skin wolves, which are going to have a kind of a deeper punch, especially against any large units he's bringing. I'm going to use them to punch into gaps in his line and disrupt his infantry, swinging them around the flank. They're being backed up by Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes, my favorite missile, long-range missile unit for the Norskins. I tend to really love cavalry with long-ranged AP. So the Marauder Horsemen. So that's one group of Skin Wolves and one group of Norscan Ice Wolves and the Marauder Horsemen on each flank. And then in the center, I'm just bringing a big meaty horde here. I don't usually go for bottom tier infantry, but these guys, I brought them and I pumped some chevrons into them. These are just standard Marauders, just standard meat shield, but I did kind of buff their stats a little so they could take a little bit more abuse from those guns, which they are going to do. So I just kind of went a big, wide mass rush build and spaced out all my units so that if artillery's hitting one, they're not going to be hitting another one. So he's going to have to pick his targets well. Just spreading them out is going to be a big advantage. And immediately just bum rush charge. Like, just get in as close as possible, as fast as possible. I've got Marauder Berserkers and Marauders to that effect. I got Wolfric the Wanderer on foot. I don't want to present a large target to all that gunnery, right? The Vampire Ghost having lots of guns, so I don't want to give him... if I sat him up on this Mammoth, he'd be able to focus fire him down, so don't want to do that. There's the other group of Marauders. I believe it's 3 groups of Berserkers in the center. 2 chevrons in one, 0 in the other, and 0 in the other. So 2 with no chevrons, Wolfric the Wanderer, 3 groups of Berserkers. In the back line, 2 groups of Marauder Champions, and Marauder Champions with great weapons. And I'm going to just bring it all in one sweeping charge as I swoop up the flanks with the wolves and the cavalry. And he's almost kind of contrary, or predictably, for the Vampire Coast, he's brought, of course, guns. So let's take a quick look at all his guns. He's got a group of the Black Spot Regiment around. Look at these guys. Yeah, Black Spot. That's probably cancer. Oh, so Zombie Pirate, Armor Piercing Missiles, Anti-Large. And, well, he's preparing for some anti-large with that regiment around there. They're being backed up by the Shade Wraith Gunner, Deck Gunners, Cursed Animation, Armor Piercing Missiles, Anti-Infantry, and Ethereal, which is really annoying. So only certain kinds of attacks are going to really affect them that much. So they're really kind of irritating. So they're regiment around Deck Gunners. So 2 regiments around in the center and backed up by a Carronade. Nice Vampire Cannon being manned by zombie sailors, Pirates of the Caribbean going on here. And then in the back, we got the zombie pirate deckhands with their halberds. Again, got that anti-large and that meat shield, so they're just going to hold in place against the tide of Norscan monsters he thinks is coming. And wolves, and he's done smart. He knows I'm going to come around with those wolves. He swung around. So he's going to use these guys. I guess he just likes the stats and their anti-large to just kind of hold the flanks against any charges from cavalry, etc. In the front, he's got 2 standard zombie pirate deckhand bombs, just swords. And, yeah, 2 of those. Tide of Skjold, another regiment around. 3 regiments of renown here. Meat shield and aquatic. High stats zombies, I guess. And there's a zombie pirate deckhands mob with pole arms just out in the front. He didn't bring any depth guard, so that might have been a good thing to buff his infantry out a little, but he was just hoping to blow me away with all this gunnery here. And, of course, he's rocking Count Noctilus on his giant... he tried to make a boat, but that's what he made. They gave him an assignment. He didn't make a boat. He made a death machine. Necrofex Colossus, Count Noctilus, there he is with the red glowing eyes. Captain Grumpy Cat, Armor Piercing Missiles, Armor Piercing, causes terror and fire while it's moving. As good as hobbling on that thing does him. So he's hoping to gun me down, and aiding him in gunning me down, he's already set a group of these 4 groups of deck droppers with handguns. They got that Armor Piercing Missiles and their anti-infantry, and they're just shooting from above. Like, that's just... I wish Wood Elf Hawk Riders were like this. If Wood Elf Hawk Riders had AP, Armor Piercing, like these guys, they'd be a little bit more useful. You see, Hawk Riders, this is what you could be. But despite 4 of them constantly firing into my troops, well, you'll see. So let's get things going here, because this was a pretty exciting game. The United Steelworkers of America defending Paradise Island from the Midnight Pirates. So the deck droppers trying to focus down this group of Marauder Berserkers. Just nice target, juicy targets for them. Not much armor, so they're just going to land those bullets in. As I just charge, I just have to keep things moving. And just all I can do is close with the infantry. I basically got nothing to answer the deck droppers with handguns. I was a bit worried when I saw them because I thought about bringing my horsemen in, but that would be a terrible idea because the horsemen would be just outnumbered and outgunned. So it's much better just running in, letting the infantry take all the shot while using my horsemen to harass because they lose all their utility immediately. They just get shot down. They wouldn't do that. There's only 2 groups of the Gem versus 4 groups of the Bat, so it's better I use them in a more advantageous position as I sneak around with the Wolves on both flanks here. So his formation's getting ready to brace. He's got the Zombie Pirate deckhands with pole arms about to meet these Berserkers. Noctilus is casting a spell on Werflick the Wanderer. Werflick the Wanderer is getting angry because he's getting shot at and stuff. So here they go. The Berserkers meeting the Zombie pole arms. Pirates versus United Steelworkers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, give him a chop there. Cheesy, cheesy. And they got the uphill advantage, so they're on a downward slope, which is great. And the group of Marauders here clashing with the Zombie Pirate deckhands mob. I think the infantry fight definitely goes my way. So immediately I just realized that I've just got to overwhelm him on the ground, completely ignore the bats, and just try and sweep him away. And that was my plan. The Wolves coming in for a nice flank charge against the Tide of Skjold. Yep, gonna try and mess them up. Oh, got a Sea Fang off against that ethereal group, but I thought it was magic. It might do more. It wasn't terribly effective. Might have been better on this group of the black spot there, but they're not really getting great shots. Ooh, they are against my Marauder Horsemen, who are going to be dying quite easily. Chop our way through the zombies. There's another group of summon zombies. That's the annoying thing about Noctilus. He can summon zombies, so kind of annoying. So the Skin Wolf's doing all right, despite the zombies having that anti-large bonus. I'm just kind of trying to close in on him. These Marauder Horsemen throwing axes. Are you throwing anything? Are you throwing? Oh, no, they haven't been attack set. Oh, that's so annoying. So, yeah, but the zombies are crumbling. The United Steelworkers are breaking through and just ignoring those deck droppers, just not letting them. There's nothing I can do about them, so I just got to let them. But my hope was that I just had an overwhelming amount of infantry that they'd use up all their ammunition. They wouldn't be able to stop it. Stop the wave of Norscan troops. The Wolves have come out, routed. They'll probably rout a few times. The Horsemen as well from that fire from the group of handgunners. I think I popped something. Foe Seeker, but he's popped something on himself. Enchanted Ballistics. Oh boy. So he's giving himself way better guns. Gonna want to deal with all these range units in the back, and that's what I'm doing with these Norscan Ice Wolves. I think I choose to charge them into the Ethereals because might as well. Like, at least they'll tie them up, and they won't have an effective melee attack, so the Norscan Ice Wolves might be able to do something, but I think I decide to get them to pull and help the Skin Wolves, and and opening them up to get shot at by these guys. So I'm charging in anyway, with 2 groups of Wolves now on the Ethereal group here. Shade Wraiths, at least I can just tie them up as long as possible. Maybe they're taking care. Yeah, no. Didn't last too long, but now I got a group of cavalry charging into them, just stopping them from being annoying while throwing in axes, and the Wolves going in a direct line for Noctilus as much as they would like to. And using that anti-large wolf bonus to help claw him down. So Noctilus at full health. Wolfric's at half, so it looks doubtful, but Wolfric's right where he needs to be. He's right in front of Noctilus. He's going to probably pop that 100 champions right there, reducing the speed and armor and melee defense of Count Noctilus. So everything on him can just plow away. I should probably take out that gunnery white, but I'm kind of all focused on bringing Noctilus down. My reasoning is now I just got to bring down Noctilus, and then everything will start to crumble around him. I basically won the infantry fight, and so I've isolated Count Noctilus and the gunnery white while trying to keep the Shade Wraith gunners just occupied with the Wolves. Even though the Wolves can't do much, I can at least tie them down and force them to engage in melee instead of getting a nice firing line going up as I grind away at the zombies. A lot of my units are wavering, but I still think Rolfrick's got a couple of a fighter dies in him. Probably. Don't know. But so I'm going to probably be able to pop them. Oh, have I got that pops? Nope. Nasty spell. He summons some more zombies. Full group. These guys thought they were done fighting it, but oh no, more zombies. What do you know? More Midnight Pirates come to ruin your paradise you worked so hard for. They want to take your pension, basically. Don't let them. You worked hard for this pension, boys. United Steelworkers of America forever. The Marauder Horsemen come back in. Again, just trying to tie down all these range units so they can't bring them to a nice firing line. They didn't even deplete their ammunition. I just brought them into melee just to hold those guys up. The wolves coming in, cycling back in for another charge. Old skin wolves, 2 groups, still got them. And every time I'm just going to bring them back in to take more whacks at Count Noctilus. As I think I got a couple thingies to use. And I think I try to use one more Sea Fang. Don't know how terribly effective it was on that group over there to finish them off. So I have one more Sea Fang, but I can't use Sea Fang really effectively because it's all of my troops. So it'd just be more friendly fire than it'd be wolf. Point blank shot with a cannon from Noctilus. You dirty vampire, midnight pirate, yo. So I'm chopping away at him with everything I got. Axes, bring down his timber, right? And he's got some summoned zombies though. Just this tight little ring. That's kind of neat actually. It'd be neat if like his feet just produce zombies to keep people away from attacking him, but they don't. And I'm chopping him down now. There we go. So, I think I popped another 100 champions, reducing that 48%. And how effective is that? How much damage is he going to be taking from this? Let's see. Because he's got a lot of hit points, so he's steadily chunking down. That's how's Wolfric's health. Wolfric's pretty stable, 1543. Yeah, he hasn't even been able to touch Wolfric, so Wolfric's good. He's got those debuffs to pop on Noctilus, who's, I guess, firing at the infantry because it seems like better use of those cannons. Precision weapons. Axes, that's what they are. I think this is a good time. I think I pop Fight or Die because I got a couple more of those left, and they were really clutch in these last little bits because the deck gunners have been firing in the whole time, but now they're suffering to binding damage to sustain their strong binding, they say, but they seem to be losing health, and I don't even know. Is it just the Axemen chunking into them? But I think it's because of Noctilus's health. I guess that's the crumbling mechanic. I don't know Undead too well, honestly. Might be a bit embarrassing, but I just never been interested in any faction of Undead other than Tomb Kings. Is he crumbling? Yeah? That should be his weak binding, but can't tell if it's crumbling or not. I don't know where that health depletion came for those guys, though. Taking fire. I guess, was it really from those Axemen? They were doing that much? Anyway, Count Noctilus pretty isolated now. Just groups of barbarians chopping at his legs. The handgunner's desperately trying to stop me, but I'm like, no. But they ran out of axes. We ran out of axes, so I'm charging them in. I think I got another Fight or Die popped, and we just gotta chop Noctilus down is the last thing, if I can just do it. Where's Wolfric at? He's still at 1533. Hasn't taken a shot. He should have maybe been firing at Wolfric, but again, not that target because he's not big. He's just another foot soldier in amongst the bunch, so he probably correctly surmises better to waste the bigger targets. Looks like we're crumbling, though. We got the crumbling going. Oh, no, still not crumbling? They're crumbling. Jeez. Army losses. Noctilus is down. Good night. And the bats will drop, and that will be my fight. Yeah. United Steelworkers, that's a competitive match against Ruslan. That was a good game, but your zombie midnight pirates did not disrupt too much the retirement of the noble steelworkers of America. Let's take a look at the kill count. Alright, so Wolfric was 62, the two Marauders 49, 80, nice, like, even 91 and 119 on this group of Berserkers, and 64, 42, and 29, respectively, on the champions. Marauders with great weapons, champions with great weapons, 147 kills, pretty good, 60 on the horses, 18 on the horses, 47, 26 on the wolves, 82 and 44, so nicely spread out kill count. Everything got engaged, everything got a piece of that rotten zombie flesh. And that's 278 remaining out of 829, still more than him. 0, because he crumbled, because you're undead. Ha! Yeah, so Noctilus got 133 kills with that cannon. Gunnery White 23, 20, 25, 20. Who did the most work? 26 on the, it looks, oh, and this Shade Wraith got his deck, 3 kills. Managed to keep them tied up, or just deny them a decent shot. Maybe he's a noob, just parked in a bad position. Can't fire. I don't know. Well, it was pretty fun playing him against him anyway. It was pretty, because he probably thought he had it in the bag with all these deck droppers. He thought he could just armor-piercing, distance armor-piercing kite me to death, you know, with those bats, because they are a real nuisance to Norsca. There's not much you can do about them, but if you just ignore them, you just gotta chunk through the infantry anyway, and they won't last without their commander. So chop the old man down. He's not gonna do anything. Plus, with all the Marauders I had, like, I was just wasting all his ammunition, like, so all his ammunition, they were meat shields. They absorbed the ammunition. They didn't have every. They would have ran out, even if the battle lasted all longer, I would have hoped, even though, I don't know, I think maybe the Gunnery White was giving them a buff with extra ballistics or something. I don't know Vampire Coast too well, but I do know I kicked it! Yeah. All right. So this is for the boys back home. Your boy Benvolio. Keep it real.